Greetings, friends. Perhaps it's time to sum up our study of the amazing method of time travel, which is directly related to the living dream and the astral. The previous video talked about the somnambulistic travels of the main character of the novel 9 Circles with Ada, Ieri. The author of Blagovolism, Kardu If, convincingly describes time travel in his 3-volume book. Not only because he is a mystic, esotericist, futurist and creative person with good imagination and fantasy, but due to the fact that he himself is the prototype of the literary hero of the novel. Kardu If decided through the art form, as Carlos Castaneda did, to share with readers his unique abilities, skills and abilities. This means that the plot of the novel is based on real events. If this is so, then without a doubt Kardu is describing his personal experience of time travel. Be that as it may, we already know something about living dreams, Nkrels, Dunts, avatars, free hunters and the astral. Let's not stop there and continue to explore the unknown. And this is how he writes about it in his novel Kardu. I quote, "The astral is the subtle world, the connecting link between dimensions and spaces, between the past, present and future. The passage of time in it is conditional. For astral entities it does not exist. And for guests of the astral it is not felt, but is present in the form of a time code of that world, that reality from which they manifested themselves on the astral plane. Nkrel is a time elevator, a real portal. It's an intangible thing. Nkreli are fickle. They appear and quickly disappear. They must be able to detect and record them in order to be able to use them for their intended purpose. The corresponding thought forms and magical activator spells launch the process of controlling the astral time machine. It is much easier for incorporeal entities to move through time than for creatures with corporeal shells. Ieri, the main character of the novel 9 Circles with Ada, thinks about this. All kinds of meditative techniques allow them to penetrate into the subtle world. But this is not enough to travel back in time. Living dreams, similar to lucid dreams, are unique somnambulistic techniques based on the ability to activate the subconscious, without turning off consciousness, but simply adapting it to the new conditions of controlled sleep, but not typical, but rather similar to deep meditation. The difference between astral travel and living dreams is significant. Their goals and objectives do not coincide. In the first case, everything happens in the astral. In the second, the subtle world is only an intermediate place necessary for discovering and using Nkrels for further time travel. There are several ways of such travel using Nkrels, writes Kardu If further. The simple option is carried out without Dunts, an avatar. It allows you to be an outside observer without coming into direct contact with people, flora and fauna. The full-fledged version makes it possible not only to observe, but also to interact, provided that the Dunts is borrowed from almost any living creature, a representative of the time into which penetration is carried out through the Nkreli. It's not for nothing that Kardu If wrote the following about the trilogy novel 9 Circles with Ada. Despite the apparent realism of the memories, this is just a figment of my imagination, a flight of fancy of the artist, so-called pseudo-memoirs, a literary Rubik's Cube for those seeking answers to eternal questions. Each reader will be able to find something of their own in this work. Not only those who are inspired by the works of Carlos Castaneda, Paulo Coelho, Vladimir Maigret, but also lovers of such prose as The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov, will not be disappointed. Let's not look for hidden motives that influence Kardu's decision not to advertise that the novel is based on real events. Apparently there are good reasons for this. Let's leave this aside and continue to study the topic of living dreams and what is connected with them. Let's return to how Ieri describes his sensations associated with the process of moving through time. So, my body during living sleep is where I fall asleep. And my energy phantom, controlled by consciousness, sets off on a difficult somnambulistic journey. Thanks to the support of Vedic, the Slavic spirit of sleep and dreams, as well as my knowledge and skills, once received from the higher powers through the divine and ancestral channels, I can consider myself a kind of time traveler. For these purposes, most knowers use all kinds of techniques for lucid dreams and prophetic dreams, or techniques of astral travelers. Not every one of them has access to Nkrels, time elevators, using which you can freely move both into the past and into the future of this reality. Even if problems related to the functioning of time elevators do occur due to third-party energy influences, they are not so common. There were times when I found myself in other realities. This can be fraught with negative consequences. After all, you could easily stay there forever. Wallendet Crowley writes Kardu If in the first volume of Annexation of My Heart of the novel 9 Circles with Ada, the energy phantom of the time traveler changes its structure and, having arrived at the right time and place on Midgard Earth, instantly is transformed into Dunce, a kind of avatar. Depending on the purpose of the journey, a body suitable for certain parameters is temporarily borrowed from any living creature located not far from the place of settlement in the Dunce. Not only a person, but also an animal, a bird and even an insect can become such an avatar. Usually, Dunce becomes a living being biologically close to a person or the person himself. We believe that there is no point in commenting on what is already clear. The author Blagovolism and the novel 9 Circles with Ada is a real-time traveler. As an afterword, we suggest delving into the words written by Kardu in the preface to his 3-volume novel. Let not every one of you believe in something that you have never encountered. May you not be sure of the true existence of other worlds and realities. Don't let much of what is hidden between the lines scare you. Treat the information you receive with respect and seriousness. Believe me, you will still need it. Take care of yourself, friends. All the best to you. See you.